All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the start of Fallen Walls Lab Ghana 2024. Good morning to you once again. Guten Morgen to our family from Germany. I bid you Akwaba. Give someone sitting next to you a high five and tell them you are welcome. Tell them welcome. Say Akwaba. And squeeze their hand and say, Wezolo. Indeed, you are welcome to Fallen Walls Lab 2024. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Perio Usweje. I'll be your moderator for today. We want to start by setting the ball rolling, inviting our partners to give us the opening remarks. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Felix Barnes from the DAAD Ghana?
Thank you very much. So welcome, and thank you for showing up, and also especially welcome to our presenters for submitting ideas for this event. DAAD Ghana has been hosting Fallen Walls Lab since 2016, and it's always been, a big idea after another, and we are happy to still continue to do this. And thanks certainly to the German Foreign Ministry for really supporting this great initiative.
We want to invite one of our partners for this event, and we always host it here at the University of Ghana. We have none other but our very friendly person here, Professor Lydia Mosi.
Good morning, everyone, and I would like to welcome you to this auditorium, which is in the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. It's a mouthful. For short is WACBIB. And we are affiliated with the Department of Biochemistry. Like was mentioned, my name is Lydia, and I'm standing here to represent the director, who is Professor Gordon Awandari, the Pro-Vice Chancellor of Academic and Student Affairs here at the University of Ghana.
We would want to invite a rep from the German Embassy to step forward and give us her opening remarks as well. Please put your hands together for Ms. Paulina Okent. Please give her a resounding round of applause.
Thank you very much. I am delighted to be here today at the Falling Walls Lab Ghana event to represent the German Embassy. Only a few days ago, Germany celebrated the 75th anniversary of its constitution. This constitution has drawn learning from Germany's past. It sets a focus on human dignity and freedom. The Constitution therefore guarantees freedom of expression, arts, sciences, research, and teaching. This is the base for a modern Germany as well as for innovation and change. On 9th November 1989, the Berlin Wall fell peacefully. The wall separated a country, a society, families. In 1990, Germany became reunited again. Few have thought this possible. In Germany, the teardown of the Berlin Wall is often called a stroke of luck in history. It shows us even the biggest obstacles can be overcome. The Falling Walls Lab is devoted to tear down the next walls in science and society.
Today I'll be learning more German than I'll do in my whole lifetime. On this note, I have the pleasure of introducing your jury. Our presenters are here and they are ready. We are going to do this in very brief fashion because every presenter has just 3 minutes to pitch their idea, their innovation, or their initiative to the jury. After which the jury, if need be, would ask you questions and you can clarify where you need to do so. I have the pleasure of introducing the jury for this very special event, and Fallen Walls Lab Ghana 2024 has a jury that has been repeating itself time and time again. So it means that they've seen talent over talent, so you have to bring your A game today, my presenters. I'm your moderator, and the timer will be on the screen, the small screen in front of you, so please bear in mind, do not get carried away. The first member of the jury we want to introduce to everyone is Mrs. Annette Geithner. Can we give her a big round of applause? She is a lecturer a DAAD lecturer at the University of Education, Winneba. Besides teaching German, she supervises student projects, helps organize student events and excursions with the German club, and provides consultation and information on studying and researching in Germany and various scholarship opportunities offered by the DAAD. She has a wide range of experience in university didactic and teaching German as a foreign language. With teaching positions in India, Ukraine, and the USA, and of course in Germany, she has a wide array of experience. Before coming to Winneba, she worked as the program director for refugee students at the International Office of Hochschule für Technik und Wirtschaft, Berlin. Next is a man who we've seen on TV growing up. He's been on GTV for many, many years. Today, he is the CEO of the Conrado Group, which offers services in communications and media training, consultancy, public relation, advertising, study abroad services, teaching, career guidance, and multimedia services. He's currently the Executive Director of Media and Public Affairs of Heritage Christian University in Amasaman. He's the Director of Truth TV on Multi TV. He is also the Communications Manager of United Nations Association Ghana, a personal development coach and trainer, a lecturer of communication skills, and author of 3 books. Reading PhD in communication management from Open University in Malaysia. A man with such a big CV deserves a big round of applause. Friends, Mr. Conrad Kakraba is here as a jury member. I have the pleasure of introducing our jury members properly. And next to Conrad, we have Professor Lydia Mosi. She works with the Department of Biochemistry, Molecular and Cell Biology at the University of Ghana. She is an associate professor of the Cell and Molecular Biology at the Department of Biochemistry, Cell and Molecular Biology at the University of Ghana, and the Deputy Director of Administration of WACBIB. I'll just leave it there, people. WACBIB stands for West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. She holds a PhD in microbiology from the University of Tennessee. Professor Mosi's research focuses on transmission of Buruli ulcer disease and developing early diagnostic tools. She's also keen on the integration of diagnosis, and management of neglected tropical skin diseases. Her lab is a core member of the World Health Organization Laboratory Network Group for Skin NTD Diagnosis. This is very heavy. Please put your hands together for her before I'm even done. She is a fellow of the African Academy of Science Affiliates Program and the African Science Leadership Program, of which she is also a facilitator. She's a recipient of the Mwele Malesela Mentorship Program for Women in Neglected Tropical Diseases, funded by the World Health Organization. Please welcome Professor Lydia Mosi. Next to her, we have the chairman of our jury. He was chair last year and the years before. He's a very calm man, but he has a lot of influence in the marketplace. He is the CEO of Suku Technologies, and they provide technology solutions to their clients. And Suku Technologies is a global full service technology solutions, network engineering, and management consulting firm focused on helping their clients meet business goals by using the right platforms and solutions combined with technical expertise to meet their needs. Mr. Chonam Cleanse Akpelo also serves as the Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries. Can we give our chairman a big round of applause? Next to him, we have another calm gentleman in the person of Professor Nick Monk from the Humboldt Foundation Research Chair at Ames, Ghana, and the University of Sheffield. He is a mathematical biologist. If you struggled in math, put your hands together for him. In his research, he uses mathematical modeling to explore the ways in which cells and tissues coordinate their activities in living systems. Most of his work has addressed questions arising in the study of how animals and plants develop, how the body plan is generated. Since coming to Ghana, he has also become interested in how we can use modeling to better understand and control malaria. Friends, put your hands together for Professor Nick Monk. At the end of the jury table, we have another young man. He's a digital lead and CEO of Pop-Out. He's a certified digital marketing professional, social media coach, technology consultant, analytics specialist, conference facilitator, and a columnist. He has practical experience in advertising, digital marketing, social media, copywriting, web app development, and event. He's worked for both local and multinational brands over the years in the sectors such as telecommunications, mining, banking, education, religion, governance, manufacturing, tourism, and media. At such a young age with such a big CV, please put your hands together for Mr. Maximus Ametogu. We have a presenter from the Accra Institute of Technology. He speaks on breaking the wall of fruit waste. Friends, put your hands together for Mr. Sam Armoh. Sam Joe Armoh.
Thank you very much. We all know fruits are very essential to us. They protect our immune system. So, looking at the way fruits are, they protect us in our immune system. So the problem is that looking at the production line from the farmer or the producer of the fruit to the consumer, you realize that before the fruit gets to the consumer, it takes some time. So it makes the fruit lose its nutritional level. Now, due to that, they lose 45% of the fruit by the time it gets to the consumer. Due to that, it causes waste. And this waste also produces carbon emissions or carbon footprint, which in effect causes greenhouse gases. So due to that, we come up with a device which will reduce the impact of microorganisms because we need to maintain the freshness of the fruit. Now, to maintain the freshness of the fruit, we've come up with this device which will include the microorganisms such as fungi, viruses, and bacteria, which are settled on the fruit. Now, with this device, what it does is that it uses sound. It uses ultrasonic sound or waves to cause implosion of the fruit and the microorganisms. Now, with this, we also back it with artificial intelligence, using machine learning to target the level or the concentration of the microorganisms to be able to implode their actions or inactivate their activities. Thank you.
So what's your innovation? The equipment, what's your innovation now? What exactly is it that you're doing?
So the innovation is to use sound waves to be able to get the microorganisms that settle on the fruit.
Mr. Chairman is asking, what's your product? What's the product?
Yeah, this is the device. Yes.
So you're expecting the farmers to procure this?
Yes, both farmers, the suppliers, and even the consumers of the fruit.
Okay.
How is it different from washing the fruit?
This uses sound, and what it does is it uses the sound to create bubbles around the microorganisms. Now, when it does that, it uses the form of sound to vibrate and reduce the actions or kill the microorganisms that are settled on the fruit, thereby increasing the lifespan or the freshness of the fruit.
Will you wash it after the killing the microorganisms?
No, please.
Okay, so this is the size of or this is just one of the sizes?
This is just a variant, yes, please.
This is just, because I'm imagining, have you seen people coming from the farm with a truckload of oranges or pineapples? At which point are we going to implode?
So it will use what we call the ultrasonic transducer to scan across the fruits. So it can be in a form of, it can be about this size. You place on them, you have the transducer producing or generating the signals, which will cut across the fruits.
So I have two questions. There's a scientific question. So how is this specific to microorganisms and doesn't affect fruit quality? And have you demonstrated that this doesn't affect the fruit quality? Because if you're destroying microbial cells, then potentially you're affecting the fruit quality as well. And the second one would be, how much do these cost? Can farmers afford these?
Okay, so for the cost, we haven't come up with the cost because we are still in the process of developing the device.
Okay, we are out of time, but
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam. Ladies make everything special. So we have a wonderful lady by name Vanessa Dodu. University of Development Studies. She also talked about breaking the wall of post-harvest losses. Please put your hands together for Vanessa.
Hello, everyone. My slide is not displayed.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Time.
While we get the presentation, if I may ask Wisdom, if you do jollof with this thing, will it taste the same? It's better. Prof says she's taking hers home since you've given it to her. The market price is 25 cedis, so please drop it at the back. I can see you are not interested in winning the pitch. Okay, but are we all having a good time here today? It's been an awesome time. So we are getting ready for Vanessa Dodu's pitch. She's also breaking the wall of post-harvest losses in Africa. She's from the University of Development Studies, but I also see Sanify Solar Dry Technology Limited. I'm sure she's affiliated with that as well. Please, can we give her a round of applause?
Hello, guten Tag. In a small community not far from Tamale, Mr. Abdullahi, a smallholder farmer who owned 3 acres of land, tills and tills the land with so much joy. He plants maize, cowpea, and granules, but immediately the harvest season comes around, all his joy goes away. Why? Post-harvest losses. Farmers work so hard but are still poor. Why is this happening in Ghana and in Africa? It is estimated that the average post-harvest loss, it is estimated that the total grain production in Africa is 206 million tons. It's 206 million tons, but a whopping 82.4 million tons goes to waste, which is 40% of this. And why is this happening? Because our farmers lack access to modern drying technology, modern grain drying technology. This affects the quality of the grains and seeds. It affects sales and eventually income, which leads to food insecurity, poverty, and hunger. This is why Sanify Solar Dry Technology has developed a mobile solar dryer to help provide affordable grain drying services for these farmers, people like Mr. Abdullahi, so that they will be able to dry their grains and maintain the quality so that they will get people to buy it at the price that they deserve. Our technology is a combination of solar energy, which provides energy for the machine. It has a mechanical hardware component, an Internet of Things component to control some of the mechanical hardware in it, and an artificial intelligence component to help with moisture detection and sorting of the grains. This machine reduces the drying time from 6 to 21 days or 3 days to between 2 to 5 hours. It is scalable and is very efficient. Using this machine by our farmers will help them, it will help us to create more jobs. It will help us have effects on the Sustainable Development Goals 1, 2, 5, and 13. So far, over a span of 3 months, we've been able to engage 1,800 farmers who are currently testing the machine, and we are making improvements. And we are currently making improvements. My name is Vanessa Ividodu, and I'm from Sanify Solar Dry Technology, where we mechanize the sun to curb post-harvest losses. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. So you have 1,800 farmers on board
Yes.
so far. How many prototype machines is that? Is that just one machine, or have you got several?
So far, we have one machine. We are currently working on it, and we are testing it on the field right now. So we have them on board, and these are the samples that they have tested, and they've referred back to us. So now they are seeing the improvement between the one that they dry with the direct sunlight and the one that they use our machines for. We are currently upscaling. Currently, yes. Let me end there.
And how much are these machines likely to cost? Will this be affordable for farmers? And is that about the right kind of scale? So 1,800 farmers could share one machine?
Yes. The one thing about the machine is that it is very mobile, and so we are developing it so that we can use it to provide services from them, so that they don't need to buy it. So we are letting them, we are providing the service for them at just 10 cedis per 50 kg, or they could bring their produce to one of our zones. We set up zones in the various areas. We put a machine there, and they can come and dry it there, or they can rent the machine if they have the capacity to for 300 cedis per day.
I think you should really sell the drying time, which is 3 hours compared to days.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So in your pitch, you really need to pronounce that, so that maybe one machine can realistically take care of an entire community in a really small time.
I memorized my pitch, but when I came to stand here, everything went away. Yeah. But it really works. It reduces the drying time from 6 to 21 days, even when it's not raining, to about 4 to 5 hours. Like, depending on the moisture content, for as low as 2 hours to 4 to 5 hours, your grains can be dried, and you are set for the for selling off. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. So what is the difference between the natural drying and then the fast drying? Because when you dry the thing quickly, it can also affect the nature of the beans or the groundnut. Which one will last longer? The fast drying one or the natural dried one?
This one will last longer. I can say so because we've actually tested it. And the ones that you are even seeing it, from the start of the 3 months, we started testing it with the farmers. It has still maintained the quality. And considering the, okay. Yes. Considering the ones that are already in the market, they are not mobile, they are not easily accessible to the farmers. And so they are there, but it is very hard for the farmers to get it. And we are still in post-harvest losses, and the farmers are suffering. We are suffering because when you consume the one that has not been dried properly, it can cause cancer, and it can cause, because of the high mycotoxin and aflatoxin content.
All right, today we're having a panel discussion, and I'm honored to have two wonderful ladies join me do this. The members of the panel are Miss Josephine Tsiao Ajamang, if she's here, and we have Grace from Kenya, Kamburi. Okay, please put your hands together for Grace. Grace is a software engineer from Kenya and the founder of EcoHydrate Solutions, a climate tech startup innovating around resource management using tech solutions for a sustainable future. She's a machine learning research scientist and specializes in environmental research. She currently works with the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP. Next to Grace, she has gracefully walked on stage. We have Josephine Tsiao Ajeman. She is a passionate tech educator and the founder of a tech education company specializing in teaching kids and teens the power of technology and business. With a background in tech industry and consulting, she brings over 5 years of experience to her role. The theme of our discussion is emergence of AI in our daily lives, good or bad. The emergence of artificial intelligence in our daily lives marks a significant technological advancement that brings both opportunities and challenges. From enhancing efficiency in various industries to raising ethical and societal concerns, AI's integration into everyday activities sparks a debate on its impact. That is a fact. AI becomes more pervasive. It prompts us to question its applications on individuals, communities, and global society. The transformative power of AI raises fundamental inquiries about its role in shaping our future, influencing decision-making processes, and redefining human interactions. So I'll start with you, Grace. What's your take on the theme?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Grace, as introduced, and I'm very glad to be here to answer the question. Today, hopefully, we will finally find out whether AI is good or bad, right? So I'm expectant of the audience as well, and to help us debug this question. So my take on AI being good or bad is I am biased on the good side. I believe that AI is here for good. Yes.
Okay, so you don't see any negative effect of AI?
We will discuss that.
We'll discuss that. Okay, Josephine, tell us.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice to see you. I was here last year as a jury member, but this year I'm here as a panel member, which is great. And AI is a topic that I'm quite passionate about. I love to use AI very much. And so today we're going to find out if AI is good or is bad. But for me, I lean towards the good side of AI. Thank you for having me.
Okay, can we give our panel members a big round of applause? Okay, so let's go to the good. How does it benefit us now?
Okay. I would have loved to start with the question of what is AI in the first place. I will not assume that everybody seated in the audience understands what we mean by AI. So AI can be artificial insemination, it can be active ingredient, but the AI we are discussing today is artificial intelligence. This simply means making computers or machines think and making them intelligent like human beings, at least attempting, because we have not yet gotten there. Now, in the attempts of making computers more intelligent, they have impacted the way we live, they have impacted the things we do. In education, we have virtual teachers, we have virtual assistants. In the health sector, we have virtual doctors. We have medical screening and medical diagnostics that are AI generated and AI based. And in the transport industry as well, we have autonomous vehicles. We are seeing them all over the internet today. So every step of the way, at least in every industry, there is a footprint of AI. And that's just to name a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you both lean to the good side, Dr. Beatrice is here. She'll tell you that sometimes students are using AI wrongly because now there are so many apps that make students very lazy. So you can just type the topic on maybe even Google and it gives you options. You don't even need to do your assignments anymore, you know. So, Josephine, since you're on the good side, how is that a good thing?
Well, I would say that's a good and a bad thing because there's a way to use AI for academia. And most students don't want to go that way. They just want to type what their lecturers give them and then just copy and paste what the answer AI gives and then submit. But that's the bad way. Now, AI, one thing that I love about AI is brainstorming. Now, students don't know that you can type in what the lecturer asked you to do, ask AI to brainstorm with you. And I've realized that now OpenAI has even advanced their responses. So now chat can even ask you, do you like this response? Should we deliberate more? And I mean, that's where we all get our ideas from. So as students, I think that we should look for tools that we have various AI academic tools. We can look for them, use them to do research, brainstorm with AI, pick the points and refer to your notes and buttress AI points with what you also know for academic. Yeah.
So clearly you're still on the good side.
Definitely.
Okay. Conversely, what's bad about this? Because it can't all be good.
Yeah, sure.
The internet was a revolution. It changed our lives. It made life easier. Most people seated here, I'm sure they use Google Map because Wakbep was difficult to find, even for me, you know, but the Google Map brought me here. Likewise, there's so much information online that's not healthy. Yeah. You know, pornography is one of them. You know, so you can't say it's entirely good. So what are the bad things about AI?
Okay, so every coin has two sides, arguably three, but we have discussed and mentioned some of the good things, and so it's good to also mention some of the bad things. AI is bringing ethical concerns on where do we draw the line of this is good and this is bad. Considering that it is new technology, how do we even define that line? Where do we even draw it? It is bringing in security and privacy issues. Today, privacy is no longer private. You see, every app you're installing has cookies that is monitoring what you're doing. Every application is using your camera, your microphone. There are big companies, not to name some, but I hope you know them, who were legally sued in court in the US because their application is able to sniff through your camera and take photos of you as you're using it. And it is drawing the concerns of, is it really good? And I believe now that's where we are discussing this. Another thing that it's bringing, it's showing something that is developing is the bias in AI. Yes, the bias in the algorithms that are in AI. For example, some time back, Zoom was not able to recognize that this is a face. Once I put on the virtual background, it will only recognize a certain skin tone. So such biases are the concerns that we need to be careful about whenever we are navigating AI. But these concerns are also outweighed by the good. So that is why here we are saying that it is good. We are, of course, not denying these bad things, and we are discussing them currently. But let us remember that the good outweigh the bad. Yeah.
Can I say something
Yes,
about
proceed,
it?
Josephine.
Okay, I want to talk about originality when it comes to AI and also about data. Now, OpenAI has a new tool, it's still under research, called Sora. Sora is a video generative tool. Now, when you go on Sora, OpenAI's website, and you check out Sora, trust me, you can't tell whether this was made by a filmmaker or this was made by Sora. Google has a similar tool called Lumiere. It's also under research. You can just go on their website. You'll be wowed. When OpenAI releases Sora, it's going to be mad for filmmakers. That'll be the end of them because you can't tell. And this is also the downside, now originality, and even for creativity too. And for, how do you call this? Copywriting. Now you see AI copyrights all over. We can't even be original anymore. So that was one issue. Another issue is about data. Recently, Scarlett Johansson had an issue with OpenAI because they approached her to use a voice for Sky, and she declined. And then they went ahead to use a similar voice to hers, and it raised so much concerns about data. Yeah.
Okay. As a tech educator, how can we better educate the public about AI to foster understanding and responsible usage?
First of all, we can do this through curriculum integration. If right from a kid in kindergarten, if we have age-appropriate curriculum and subjects on AI, kids can learn, and then up through the higher education level. And they can even start building their career from this. Also, we can also do this through community and public discourse. We can hold forums, we can hold seminars, we can even engage with tech companies for them to actually have open sessions with the public, for publics to come and test and know how AI is. We can also leverage media. There are lots of mysteries surrounding AI. The media can help with demystifying what AI is. At least everyone has an idea, for everyone to have an idea of how to use, and then AI, and then the knowledge to, yeah.
Okay. Grace, I'm coming to you. From an AI researcher's perspective, what are the current trends in AI development, and how do they contribute to addressing societal challenges and advancing human capabilities? Because bear in mind, it's going to take some jobs away. You know, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, I saw a post on the internet where in the past, to get what we now see as a drone shot, you needed a helicopter, you know, and so you needed a pilot, and then you needed a cameraman to be in the helicopter to give you those aerial shots. But now on your phone, my 9-year-old son can send a drone up and give me aerial shots. You know, so what's your take?
So current trends in AI are many, and I just want to also mention something. When we say AI, don't just think ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not the only artificial intelligence application that we have. It's literally, I think, 0.75% of what the whole body of AI includes. AI is machine learning, AI is computer vision, AI is natural language processing, AI is database algorithms, right? When we say AI, I also want to also charge the audience today that educate yourself on what is going on so that you don't limit yourself because you can only see as far as you know. So if you want to understand what AI actually is, you also need to be willing and ready because it's here and it's here to stay. For you, it's now your responsibility to go out, understand what AI is and what it's doing. So what are the current trends? Today we have natural language processing. These are being able to understand what the sentiment that is in tweets and how to respond to that. We have data modeling where we're able to forecast. So it's being used a lot in climate change areas today. There's currently a summit going on AI for good. You can look it up. It's in Switzerland, I think in Geneva, where IBM just mentioned of an AI suitcase that they are creating to help the blind navigate life. So there are a lot of different applications, and they are growing every day. The biggest platform where I see people uploading such is LinkedIn. So every day you are seeing a new technology. Every time you're scrolling, you will find something new. For you to stay up to date, it's quite hard. So I wouldn't tell you that this is the most recent, but the most famous are now the ChatGPT, which are just the large language modeling models that we have. But also computer vision is gaining a lot of trend right now because we are making a lot of robotic devices that need to learn that this is a table, this is a human being. Right. So from an industry perspective, I know the work that is going on is is a lot. So as you say that it's also taking away jobs, it's also creating jobs in the research sector. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know who will take this. I mean, either of you can, but what role should government play to provide a regulatory framework? Because it should be controlled. That's as a matter of fact. You know, aside the ethical concerns and the privacy issues that would come up, I believe that government and regulatory bodies play, you know, like an overseeing role. What do you think? Yeah. You know, so that those creating all the AI models that we are taking advantage would be responsible. Yeah. You know.
Well, I'd like to start with saying that governments can engage with policymakers, technology policymakers at that, and they can engage with them to know what's their trends, to regulate, to talk about laws that regulate the use of AI ethically. Governments can also engage with researchers to actually find out the latest models, latest tools that are coming up, and governments can also formulate them in their policies and then their laws. That's what I can say.
I currently work with the Africa Center for Energy Policy, so I have been asked that question quite a lot on who is responsible, who should we, if AI goes wrong, who should we blame? And the government comes into play, as my co-panelist has just said. But AI regulation is a multi-stakeholder responsibility. It is the user's responsibility to govern the way they use AI within their own cell phones and laptops. It is the role of the government to put in the policies and say this is wrong, this is bad. It is also the role of public interest institutions to charge companies and follow up with them on what is the human interest when you're making this model. The government can install or put in place regulatory frameworks that charge them with more transparency and accountability. So we have a lot of hidden, how do we even know the way, you see, when you're using ChatGPT, you just see it go silent for 1 minute and then you see a whole lot that has been written, right? And how do we even know what's going on behind the scene? So we need more transparency whenever you are seeing that, okay, I'm seeing this, but where did you get these sources? Are your sources credible? We need more transparency and accountability in that sector. And also, we also need more, how will I say it? We need to hold ourselves as ethical, yes, we need to hold ourselves as ethical persons. You hold yourself accountable on how you're using AI. AI is like a knife. You can use it to cut meat or you can use it to kill someone. You see, it is a tool that is in your hands, so use it in the right way and it serves you in the right way. Use it in the wrong way, it serves you in the wrong way. Yeah.
So it's also calling for more collaboration. You spoke about stakeholders getting involved, and public engagement as well. I believe in our part of the world, we are not too exposed to AI. The vast population. I mean, the youth, are quite exposed and understand how it works to a certain degree. But the older folk and rural folk have no idea how this works. So I believe that that engagement has to also be, done properly. I saw another video. I'm always online, by the way. How in the West AI is being used to their benefit. And I think I won't mention names, but one of the most popular electric vehicles in the world, owned by one of the richest men in the world, if not the richest. The driver could literally sleep, and the car was literally on autopilot, self-drive mode, So I just looked at that video and I projected to my village in Isiakwa. Bunsu Junction, the hub for accidents, and I'm wondering if this is applied here, we'll have a lot of problems to deal with. Overseas, they were arrested because I understand you don't have to be asleep. You still have to be awake, So like you were saying, you are ethically responsible with how you use AI. How does the future look for AI in Ghana, in Africa, since you're from Kenya, and there's one big global village, yeah?
Yeah. Now, thank you for bringing up that, actually. We actually have one of those cars that is on the roads of Kenya as well. Not just one, I've seen quite a few. But our infrastructure is not able to support what the West is bringing.
We also have a few here, by the way.
Oh, okay.
A few of them are here, yes, true,
Okay.
to be told.
Now, our infrastructure needs to adapt, and if not, we need to create technology that is fit for our own infrastructure.
Rightly so.
A lot of the pitches I was listening here were mentioning the way we can use AI to do this, to solve this, to regulate this. These are very good uses of AI, and we can see that AI is being leveraged in very many ways. And we need African AI, probably, for Africa itself, right? We have a new legal tool in Kenya called Wakili.
Wakili.
Yes, Wakili means lawyer. Lawyer.ai, so wakili.ai. This is a legal tool that is being used by legal practitioners when you're going to court and helps you to read through the laws of Kenya. It has a database of the laws and the frameworks and the policies. And this is part of the future of AI. We are using it to make our work more efficient. We are using it to make hard tasks easier. We are using it in the labs and in the health sector, because today we're in the health sector space. And we are using it to understand what are the patterns between this disease and that disease. What could be the drug that we can research? During COVID season, we had a vaccine called Pfizer. I hope we had it here as well.
I think we did. That's the company that produced one of the vaccines.
Yes, so Pfizer was in collaboration with one of the top companies in the tech industry that used AI to actually research the existence of Pfizer, the vaccine that you were receiving. Wow. So AI is not the future, AI is now.
Okay.
So what is AI doing now? As it continues to grow, is that it is expanding into every sector.
Right.
If you think that your sector, it is in agriculture, it's used to predict climate change. It is in medicine, it is in education. Actually, we have AI moderators today. So you
taking my job, like I said earlier.
Now, when you say that AI is taking your job, not really. The person using AI is going to take your job, not AI itself.
Not AI, I get the
yes.
point. Yeah.
And that's why it is important for everyone that is seated in this room and beyond to understand how they can make themselves more marketable in the job space, because I've been seeing job ads that require you to know how to use AI tools.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. So you need to educate yourself for you to remain relevant in the job market space. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll take your thoughts as well, Josephine, because you deal with a lot of young people, the future outlook, looking ahead, what are the key considerations and actions needed to harness the full potential of AI while mitigating the risks, particularly for young people?
Okay, so I'd like to take us back a bit.
Okay, do that.
To support what she said. AI is not just now. I think AI became popular because OpenAI developed ChatGPT. AI has been there since, I don't know, but it looks like a lot of people didn't know about it. AI has cousins and sisters like augmented reality, XR, all of that related. Right. Now, back to your question. For children and for teens or young people coming up, I think this is where they need to start learning how to create AI. People say that AI will take your job, but let's think about this. It's somebody who created AI. There are thousands of millions of developers in OpenAI, Google, creating AI. So for kids, if I were young, I think this is when I'll start learning Python and data. When I'll start learning LLMs, NLPs, like you mentioned. This is why I'll start learning software engineering. So for the upcoming generation, I think that AI is even going to create more jobs. When ChatGPT came, we saw something like prompt engineering. It became a thing, and people were charging millions. Yes, to teach people how to prompt. Prompt engineering is simply how to prompt ChatGPT and Google's competitor. And people are charging millions to learn this. So for the upcoming generation, AI is not going to take your job. Make yourself available and create AI for people to use.
Let's do a quick search. How many of you know ChatGPT? How many of you have used ChatGPT? Almost everyone here. We have a high-tech audience today. Put your hands together for yourselves. Okay. I'm looking at I don't want to say the bad side, but the negative effect. Maybe because I stand between the bridge of the old school and the new school. Okay. When you are inching towards 40, you are not young, but you are also not too old. But what can someone who was born perhaps in the 80s and is not too hip, or even worse in the 70s or 60s, like my mom, or 50s, do to catch up with the times, because I think the engagement is what it is. And if you watched movies like iRobot, you get an impression that, artificial intelligence, they're out to get you in such a way that, what can be done to get the old school abreast of the times?
Oh, okay. Now, this is where personal responsibility comes in. But this is also where educators also come in. For you to remain relevant, as I've said, you need to stay up to date with what is going on. I have been here for quite some time, and there's a new phrase that I learned, that the learners beat the learned. Wow. Those who say
that again.
The learners beat the learned.
So the learners beat the learned.
Yes. If you learned and closed your book and said, I've had enough of learning, and then there is somebody somewhere who is always trying to find what is new, what is trending. Can I stay updated? Can I improve my knowledge? Can I increase my knowledge? That's why that person is more knowledgeable than that person who closed the book.
Absolutely.
Now, if we were to come in and say that maybe now the bad thing is that now it's increasing the difference between those who live in technology and those who don't. Yeah. not everybody in Africa has a smartphone, which is a disadvantage, but we should work towards bridging that gap between those who have smartphones and those who don't, those who live in the tech world and those who, are unaware of what is going on. So I believe that for you to remain more aware, it is your personal responsibility to find out what's going on. There's a lot of information online, there's a lot of knowledge sharing going on the internet, and you can easily engage and find out what is new and what is trending. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, still on learning and upscaling, there are a lot of pages you can follow. On LinkedIn, I follow Generative AI, so it helps me to stay updated. And just like she said, it's your personal responsibility. Since ChatGPT and Generative AI became a thing, I've seen companies like NVIDIA. NVIDIA has an online course on Generative AI, so anybody, irrespective of your age, 80, 90, you can log on to NVIDIA's online class online and then take Generative class course. Anybody else can take it. Yeah.
Okay, I think we need to also hear from the audience. And since everyone is high tech and is using ChatGPT, you can give us your thoughts, but finally, how can individuals actively engage with AI development and contribute to shaping its evolution in a way that aligns with societal values and aspirations?
Feedback.
Feedback.
I think one of her comments was that AI is always asking you, ChatGPT is always asking you, did you like this or did you not? Is there a way we can do it better? When OpenAI is putting that feature, they know that your input as a user can actually contribute to the way they do things in the company. So we need to stop folding hands and saying that AI is biased. No. We need to actually be actively contributing and giving feedback to these companies that I prompted AI to do this, I prompted ChatGPT to do this, and I got this response, which is wrong. Now, AI is not at a stable place to stand on its 2 feet and say that, oh, now we have a full structure AI that now we no longer need human beings. No, we still need to train our models, and our models are only trained if you actually give feedback to the companies and say that I saw this feature that was not functioning, I saw this and it was wrong. So be the person to always give feedback. I try to do that as much as I can, and I also want to call on to everyone. As from a researcher perspective, from a scientist perspective, I know how beneficial feedback is whenever we are doing any programming tasks, because we are creating models to be used in the real world. So if you do not tell us what you want, then we have a discrepancy, because I don't understand you, you don't understand me. And feedback is the only way we are able to understand each other. So let us be vigilant, givers of feedback whenever feedback is required. Yeah.
Okay. Josephine, you can take same.
I would say collaborating with stakeholders and advocating for ethical AI. That's one thing that I'm big on. So if you're able to collaborate with researchers, with policymakers, and we also push ethical AI, I think that AI will be good for all of us and safe for all of us as well.
Nana Kofi Efriye Sapon. Oh, put your hands together for Nana Efriye Sapon. Joe Armoh. Oh, put your hands together. Sam was one of the first presenters, and he spoke about breaking the wall of fruit waste. Aha. Can we have Tariq Nasser-Dean? I believe he was our second presenter. He spoke of breaking the wall of time wastage and carbon emissions. Something with two S's. Okay, on the count of three, say falling walls. 1, 2, 3. Aha, there you have it. Last one. On the last count of three, falling walls. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Thank you very much. The jury will take leave of us. Presenters wait behind. Jury, please, you may take your seats. Presenters wait behind for your exclusive photograph.